back at it again, and we have a good but unfortunate story, and I'll dive more into that once we actually get into the video, all right? But make sure you guys hit that like button. Greatly helps out with the YouTube algorithm. I would really appreciate it, all right? If you're not subscribed already, hit that subscribe button. And right after you do that, make sure you hit the bell button down below that's next to the subscribe button so you're notified when all of these videos drop. All right. And last thing, if you would like to donate to the channel, because when I upgrade the video quality for this channel, the camera that I'm getting or that I plan on getting is like $2,500, which is just when I went into my search for cameras, I thought, maybe $1,000. All right. Which is still expensive. But yeah, $2,500. I think it's called the A7 IV or something. Sony A7 IV. Yeah. So PayPal link is in the description because that's just ridiculous. But I think it will provide better quality videos for you guys, which obviously I definitely want to do. But anyway, let's dive into this crazy story here. Shout out to James. I appreciate you, brother, for sending me this video. James is amazing, continually sending me wonderful videos to check out. So I appreciate you, brother. Just wanted to give you a quick shout out. But let's dive in.
You got to go out to the people who it's not directly affecting.
Yeah, if you're going to throw a brick.
Yeah.
Throw it.
So at the people that I can actually do that change.
Yeah.
How did you approach that? Like we spent, I think, like a good 2 months.
Yeah.
Based on like how are they organized? Like what's their purpose? My kids, we don't stand up for the parents.
Whoa. Time out. So not only did she waste 2 months of these kids' lives because she wasn't teaching reading, writing, science, or math, she was teaching them for 2 whole months about protest. Yeah. What in the... She needs to be fired immediately and criminally charged. Now, I don't know, if there are any laws against any of this stuff, but there should be. There should be. That's the way that I see it. If you aren't teaching kids what you're supposed to be teaching them, you should not only be fired, but you should be criminally charged. Us taxpayers don't pay you to indoctrinate. We pay you to teach reading, writing, science, and math. We pay you to teach kids, if anything, beyond that, how to critically think. Not CRT, but how to critically think, how to have critical thinking skills, how to think for themselves, not to just follow the crowd wherever the crowd goes, but to analyze something for their self. If you're going to go beyond, reading, writing, science, and math, teach them that. But she's over here indoctrinating kids, teaching kids to be woke warriors, SJWs, as I like to call them, social justice warriors. For what? Sheesh.
I tell my students that all the time.
Yeah.
Like, guys, nothing's going to change until you guys are ready. That's what my job is.
Yeah.
To prepare you to make sure that you don't mess up this world too much.
That is not your job.
Our undercover journalist met up with middle school English teacher Arian Franco. Ms. Franco, who told us beside teaching English language arts to more than 60 teenage students a day, she says she uses violent protests as a learning tool for brick throwing.
How did you approach that? Like we spent, I think, like a good 2 months. Based on like how are they organized? Like what's their purpose?
Yeah.
Like the ones that worked, what did they do? Being loud.
Oh, what's that?
Being loud.
Yeah.
This is what
Being loud. She's telling us the script. What do we see nowadays? People yelling and screaming, being loud for no reason at all. And people protesting on a weekly basis and wondering why, I want socialism because I don't have as much money as those people over there. Well, excuse me. How many times have you been protesting this week? Well, I went to, you guys remember the video that we checked out? I think it was a Caitlin Bennett video. Shout out to Caitlin Bennett. But the chick had like the board and Caitlin asked her, I think she asked her what was the board about? And it was like a board that had like 50 different stickers on it. And she was like, oh yeah, this is the board of all the different protests I've been to this year, or something like that. And I'm like, yo, how in the F do you have time for that? How do you have time? Seriously. And then a couple of you reminded me, some of these folks are receiving some underground funding that I did not know about previously. Yeah, but these same folks are the same ones that cry about being broke. And yet they're wasting their time protesting instead of trying to figure out how to put food on the table. I'm just like, well, duh. But of course, schools don't teach people, how to actually think anymore. So it makes sense that it doesn't compute with them.
I told my students, I was like, guys, there's strategic ways to do this. You wanna, and I brought up like crazy organizations that have done this. Like they chose which places to throw bricks through.
Yeah.
They chose, and they didn't do it in their own neighborhood.
Yeah.
They didn't do it to the to the black and brown community.
Yeah.
That's like doing it to our own community does not make sense.
Yeah.
You gotta go out to the people who it's not directly affected.
Yeah. If you're gonna throw a brick,
yeah.
throw it.
Throw it at the people that I can actually bring that change.
Yeah.
Not only does Ariane Franco teach her students about effective violent protests, she explains how she had her kids, quote, change the words to the Pledge of Allegiance.
Like I tell them, like my kids, we don't stand up for the pledge.
Okay.
We do the Pledge of Allegiance every morning.
Yeah.
No, but we keep on our business.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? It was a class decision to begin with.
All right, well, keep on your business and go back to wherever your family is from. How about that? Let's keep on keeping on. How about that? Cease, Louise. We don't stand for that pledge. We don't stand for the pledge. We gonna change the words. All right, cool, fine. Don't say it. Cool. Go back to wherever your family is from, and you let me know how much better it is than here. All right. See, that's the hypocrisy of these folks as well. They'll never go back to where they are originally from. And oh my goodness, don't let a white person say what I just said, because oh goodness, it's the end of the world. How dare you tell somebody to go back to where they're from? I mean, that's the only logical thing to say, though, right? Because they say America is this horrible, terrible place. So apparently where you're from has to be a better place than here in America, right? So why don't you go back? The hypocrisy, man.
Yeah.
They're not talking about me, so I'm not standing up.
Yeah.
You know? At one point, when I first started challenging it, I had my kids change the words.
Oh, wow. How did it go?
I can't remember. It was something like, I think we added at the end, and we will fight for those who this does not address.
Yeah.
Something like that. We added to it, because it's a liberty and justice for all.
Yeah.
And we will fight until that is true.
Yeah. And how do you think kids can fight, though? Because sometimes they feel powerless to fight.
Well,
they can't vote.
The first thing is to be able to be a critical thinker.
Yeah.
Challenge your parents.
Yeah.
Challenge the adults that you meet.
Yeah.
Ask questions.
Yeah.
I used
Conversation.
to kneel when the BLM.
You used to what now?
I used to kneel.
Kneel.
I mean, I couldn't
In the
kneel all
class?
the way, but like.
Did y'all catch what she said there? Hold on, I gotta run that back.
You used to what now?
I used to kneel.
Kneel.
I mean, I couldn't
In the
kneel all
class?
the way.
Oh man, I'm not even gonna say what I'm thinking. I'm not even gonna say anything. Nope. Not even gonna do it. I'm gonna be the person that's gonna take the higher road. All right, and I'm gonna let y'all have at it. Okay, I'll be reading back through the comment section, but it's ironic that she talked about critical thinking or critically thinking, right? Because at the same time she's indoctrinating them to just follow her plan, but then on the other hand, you talk about critically thinking. How does that even make any type of sense? Anyway, I digress. Let's continue on. Sheesh.
You used to what now?
I used to kneel.
Kneel.
I mean, I couldn't
In the
kneel all
class?
the way, but like, yeah, I
Would the students do it too?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So how do you have that conversation with them about the pledge? Like, how do they understand?
I'm an ELA teacher. We break it down.
Yeah.
Every line in the place.
Because I love history. I want to learn from a teacher. So
Yeah, so you go the English route, like, okay, what does the pledge say? Okay, who wrote it?
yeah.
How does because no matter, like, a timeless piece means that you can take it out at any time.
Hold on. I wonder if he's like recording off of his phone, because she's looked down at it like twice now. At least that I've noticed. She's probably looked down at it more times than that, but I noticed she looked down at it a couple different times. And if it's a phone, it's going to be pretty obvious what he's doing. You know, nobody sits with their phones angled towards someone unless he has like one of those secret things, or you know what I mean? Like, what do you call it? Spy cameras, like a button or something on his shirt. But that wouldn't even make sense either, because it's like angled up. Like that looks like a phone or something. I don't know. If anybody knows what they typically use to record these things, let me know in the comment section. Because I think she might have caught on to it a little bit there towards the end. But I don't know. Let's see if she keeps talking.
And be able to put it in. But it is important to know when it was originally made, because context matters.
Actually, I don't know. Because that's the end of the video. That's interesting. Because if you watch the video, she looked down once, and then she double takes. She looks down again, and she looks directly into whatever he's using as the camera. Directly into it. And, 10 seconds after that, the video ends. So I don't know if like she caught on to it, like, hey, what are you doing? Why is that pointed towards me or something? And they had to end it there. And that was just the video that they were able to, scrounge together because she caught on to it. Or I don't know. It was just a coincidence that she looked down at it. I don't know. If anybody knows, let me know in the comment section. As you guys know, I read through the comment section on a daily basis. So, yeah, talk to me, please. But anyway, once again, first it was a principal that we checked out who admitted to intentionally not hiring any teachers that were considered part of the right. And now we have an actual teacher, someone who's in the classroom with our children, indoctrinating them for 8 hours a day, or however long the school day is these days. I don't know. 8 hours, I assume. Excuse me. I'm still getting over my cold, which is why I'm over here sipping water. My throat is so dry. It's ridiculous. We need to do a mass overhaul to our schooling system. I think we need to take an entire summer and mass fire. Maybe we should just fire every single school teacher across the board, and then rehire every single teacher. Now, the only issue with that is the time it's going to take to do that. But I mean, if there is a rush put on it, anything is possible, right? I think anything is possible. But if that's the way we save our children, and I mean, it is what it is. Right from the last day of school, you give every single teacher a notice, hey, you're fired. Well, maybe not the last day of school. Maybe you give them like a month's notice. Hey, at the end of the school year, last day of school, you're all fired. Hiring process starts the very next day or something like that. You know what I mean? And really go through a rigorous hiring process and letting the teachers know, hey, these are the standards. If you do not adhere to these standards, you will be fired. Here's your new contract to sign, stating that if you try to indoctrinate these kids with any type of political crap, even if it's subliminal, you will be terminated and fired on the spot and criminally charged. Sign the contract here, here, and here. What do y'all think? I mean, that was just off the top of the head, so there's probably a whole lot within that I'm not really thinking about. Of course, like I said, it's going to take a whole lot of time in order to get that done, but I think it can get done. But y'all let me know in the comment section below. How do we save our schooling system from these terrible teachers and principals that apparently are everywhere? Let me know in the comment section below. Like, share, comment, and of course, hit that subscribe button before you go. Peace and love. I'm out.